Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. The scenario is called Fragments. It was written by Steffen Schütte, and it was translated into English by Pascal Breitenfeld, who is also our game master. This is episode 7. So, without any further delay, let's begin our journey into the darkness. Pascal?
Thank you, Tom. So, as we left off, you were convened in the small room of the local eccentric ex-teacher, Professor Layman. You were discussing the Dreamlands. So he is basically sitting at his kitchen table, and he's still quite nervous now, though he seems more focused than when you met him on the street. He told you a lot of stuff about what he knows, and he gave you a warning that there are people from this town in the Dreamlands who might pick up there.
So, if I'm to understand this all correctly, the professor came here looking to find information about his studies in the Brothers Grimm, and what he found was that there is an old legend, tradition, whatever. There are people in this town that think that they are related in somehow to Yoch and black magic, and now the professor has disappeared. There's supposed to be monsters living in the pools.
Well, you see, I don't know about your professor, but Yoch is. I'm pretty certain he is one of the members of the new council of Larnac, if not even their leader. So you should be very careful.
So they might be, in fact, some sort of pseudo-religious cult.
Something like that.
Yeah. And if they've got the administration under their thumb, then if they sacrifice one of us to Krug, nobody's going to tell anybody about it.
It's more worrying about when the festival happens and then another sinkhole appears.
But if there's the cycle that you're telling about, then maybe some of the older people in town might remember something, but I don't think if you ask one of the good citizens in good standing, I don't think they will tell you anything that really happens here. Most people are very complacent. So maybe, I don't know, who might be.
I mean, is there anybody trustworthy for trying to avoid certain people?
Well, I'm not very, well, people don't respect me in this town anymore, but
it's your fear, Professor, that makes us trust you.
Maybe you should rather be looking for people on the outskirts of society, like, I don't know, like the old Mino or the cat lady.
What was that old lady that lived at the edge of town near the communal gardens?
Well, yeah, that's Mina. She's like a.
Yeah, if she's
bit of
old,
a tramp.
She's been here a long time. Maybe she was here the last time the sinkhole appeared.
That, and she looks straight out of a grim tale. Professor
Don't
Layman,
eat.
Yeah, a bit, and
whom else do you suspect might be part of the Council of Alarnak?
well, I'm not sure about the council. The council is a very secretive body in that town, but there are a couple of people. I don't really know who they're in this in the waking world. There is but they are very prominent members of the city of Ilarnik. Like one is the biggest salesman of furs in the town, and his wife. They are called Frila, and his wife is Isa. They within Ilarnik, they are the society. If you're not invited to their parties, you're basically not within society.
We don't know that much about the Dreamland. You seem to know more than us. If we were going to pose as somebody, some wealthy merchants from another town, what sort of place might we say we're from that would impress them?
Ask me something. You could be hailing from. What could impress people? No, I have actually to think about that.
Summerface.
Yeah, why not?
Okay. My character didn't say that though.
You mentioned the names Frila and Elisa.
Isa.
Is that their name here? Isa?
I don't know who. I don't really know who they are here.
Mhm.
They must be. They must be some of York's cronies from most likely from the rifle club, and you see a couple of younger people from the rifle club. You can actually I was actually able to find some that live here, but they seem to change to disappear after a time. I think they change who they are. I think they somehow lead other lives in that world. They build a new person and they change their appearance so they can live out their dreams that they can't live out here.
So, Professor, you're from what I understand, you're telling us that there's this dream world or dreamland where there's an alternate sort of society where people are living and
Yes.
Well, we've been there.
clubs and whatnot,
there multiple
organizations, and they have one identity there,
Yeah.
which you're saying is kind of protean in nature, and then they have their own identity here.
Exactly.
I think if I understand what you're saying is when you're in the Dreamlands, given enough experience, you can be whoever you want to be. You can alter everything that you are.
That's
Just like-
exactly what it is.
I've had dreams where I wasn't me, I was somebody else. I don't
But
think
you
that's
need a lot of experience to control that.
No.
Professor Layman, if you'll remind, we met a fellow on the train who was rebelling against his father, who was in the tin can business. He's a prominent member of town, right?
There are a couple of we have a bit of industry here, and there are a couple of tinneries and tin can manufacturers.
Do you think that those people might have joined the Ilarnak Club in the Dreamlands?
It's possible.
Do you think that York has the silver key?
He must have something that helps him bring those people over. The people here are not the kind of people that usually travel to the dreamlands and can control anything there. So
Not
they must have some way of bringing themselves to the dreamlands. I don't see that those people have the strength of will to find the way to the dreamlands themselves.
what if
Are
it's not a
there-
silver key, but a gold coin.
Are there books that we can read to learn more about this?
Didn't Professor have one of those? Didn't Professor Erling grab one of those himself?
There's people have written books about their travels through the dreams, but I don't know where to get how you could lay your hands on one of those.
What's your opinion of Dr. Krieger of the Hearts Club?
Well,
Krieger, is it?
he is. His name was. You mean the one you had the stroll with, right?
Yes.
Schmieke.
Schmieker. Do you think he's trustworthy?
I don't think he's really in with Yock's bunch, so I don't see why not. But people talk in this town,
or they keep secrets, or both. The tin can fellow is, I think his name was Bolsch. Do you know him?
There is. Let me see. Ooh, here. Bulge. Well, there's one here. The biggest manufacturer is called Layman. Bulge? I don't.
Yolman. Yes, I don't know if we've.
He owns the biggest factory.
Oh, I see. Carl Friedrich was the fellow we met on the train, I think.
Yeah, he's his son. He
That's it.
Professor, I want to make sure I understand something. So we've been going into the dreamlands while we've been sleeping. And you said there are other people, there are people that are finding a way into the dreamlands. Is that in their physical bodies? Like a portal, or
No.
dreams? Okay.
There are ways supposed ways to enter the dreamlands in your physical body, but most of us dream themselves into them. So your body stays wherever you're sleeping.
That makes sense with the Jungian idea of collective unconsciousness, that this is a place where we all go or come from.
So do you need knowledge of the dreamlands beforehand, or are just some people?
Well, some people
randomly,
just have the strength of mind to find them on their own, and some are drawn into them on certain occasions or in certain places.
Something has drawn us in. Something wants to show us something.
And
Because I've never
some of
had
them
vivid
were-
dreams like this, and certainly not with other people involved.
Well, it's true that the Sandman seemed to look at us from a distance when we were on the train. Perhaps we were chosen then in some way, or he was
Well,
anticipating us.
He would
Going through.
definitely be able to bring you into the dream world.
We've been going, as we talked about it earlier today, we've been going through, I guess is close comparable to like chapters of a story in our dreams. It has all been like specific, like it's always been locked to specific places. We've tried to leave places and it like wouldn't let us go further until the next stream.
Well, you have to understand in the Dreamlands the way distance works is very different from what we are used to in this world. The distance between two places has a meaning, but even more important is, for example, how strongly you want to reach a place. So if you have a reason to reach a place, then your travel will be much faster.
Right.
We were pretty fast when we were running away from the creatures of ebb. My professor, who was killed there, though, wasn't somehow.
Well, if
Depends
he
on where they
was,
found him.
if he, you said he was, you found him on the shores of the lake.
Yes, with his throat cut.
Quite
Dressed
gruesome.
as something of a cleric.
Well, if he's a man of knowledge, then he would initially most likely appear in the Dreamlands like a monk or something like that. You basically take the shape of the thing you identify as long as you are not able to control your form.
I'm in robes as well. Is that what you find yourself in?
Well, I'm not going to tell you
Sorry, I
what
didn't
I
mean to
look
pry.
like in the dreams. I can't trust you that much.
So you're saying that your appearance in the Dreamlands is in some sense a reflection of your identity in this world?
Yeah.
Unless you alter
Exactly.
it through action, as perhaps Frila and Isa have.
Nate and I look like marshals. Prinz and Walter end up looking, I guess, like justices to some
And
degree.
I had a rapier, I think, correct? Some sort of like a sword cane of some sort.
Yeah, you had.
Uh,
You did.
considering just how I guess a lawyer of that time would be, it'd also be someone that'd be judge, jury, and executioner.
Well, out of character, you identify quite a bit with your fencing skills, so that might play into it.
Professor Layman, do you have any relation with Mina, the cat lady?
Well, Mina isn't the cat lady.
Oh, there's two.
The cat lady is what people here directly call Anna Gruber.
Uh-huh.
She lives on the edge of the woods to the east of town.
Oh,
The children went missing in the north of town at the woods. Is that right?
I think they
The woods
preferred the
are
direction.
more eastern of the town.
So do you think people suspected Anna Gruber of being involved in little haunts and...
No, I don't think so. She's just an old lady that lives with like, I don't know. She must have like 30 or 40 cats.
That's a lot of cats.
Cat lady.
Cat lady.
Yeah, that's why they call her that.
So I'm sorry, I'm glad you clarified that. Do you ever speak to Mina, who lives in the collective garden?
So, from time to time, she wanders around the city. She's a nice old lady. She sells wood she collects, and she gives out some fruit and candy. Basically, people give her that and she gives it out to the children.
Mhm. I just wonder if she would be friendlier if you introduced us to her instead of
I don't think
five
so.
strangers. Fair enough.
Professor, is it at all possible to kind of force someone against their will into the dreamland? That you want
I
them there
don't-
for some reason?
Not that I know.
Somebody pulled us in without our consent.
Well,
Dreaming, we're just floating
if you put
somewhere.
it like that, yeah, there might be beings who are able to do that.
So anyone who's there is either because they're lured there or they somehow they're aware they want to be there.
It's interesting. Oh, sorry.
To deposit a theory, it's as we talk as like Professor, you've talked about this before of how like you have trouble when you dream to leave the 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 land of Ib and Sarnath
Yeah,
as it's going how this goes.
that is quite disconcerting.
And you're like a practiced person when
I
it comes to your
I
dreams.
usually am able to, well, to wander the dreamlands as I wish.
So
I still have to traverse the distances, but I can leave the area I'm in. But for the last couple of days, I'm more and more drawn to Larnac.
and perhaps because we are either unpracticed and I guess only vaguely had the capacity to dream in the same way, because we sleep in this town, it makes us wake up there.
That there seems to be a connection. Something is connecting both worlds here, and this connection is getting stronger, I guess.
It happens every
Maybe
58
that
years
has something
where
to-
the line thins.
Maybe that has something to do with this cycle you talked about.
And I want to go back to very early, the first time any of us did have a strange dream, and that was on the train with Mr. Lack and Mr. Prince.
We were approaching the town.
We didn't all have
Um,
strange dreams, just some of us.
And on that train, we had the young man and the older woman telling stories, and then we saw the Sandman.
You saw the Sandman in the dream.
Yes. No, he was driving a cart along next to the train.
In real
And
life.
There were
In
two
this
children
world?
who called
In this world.
There were two children who called out, pointing at the window, and in the distance on a hillock, there was a fellow in motley riding a cart that was full of sacks of something, and he seemed to look directly at us, not far from
But
the
I've
limits of
never heard
Theism.
of the Sandman is he's a creature of the dreams, and I've never heard of one. How can he leave the dreamlands?
The sort of thing we would hope that you could tell us.
I've been saying I think it's the cycle in this town that the line between that place in the dreamlands and here fades.
Which
Mr. Lack-
explains why the monster comes through and attacks the young women.
Mr. Lack, do we remember if the two children on the train who saw him, were they a boy and a girl?
They
were
were two
the-
girls.
They were
Two
the
girls, okay.
nieces of the woman who had the strange version of the Frog Prince to tell,
Right, okay.
and
Was it the
couldn't
fisherman and
remember
his
any
wife?
other tales. Oh yeah, Fisher and his wife. Thank you. Right, and the children saw him plainly, and when we were unfamiliar with that particular instantiation of the Sandman, so we wouldn't have noticed him even if we was looking out the windows, but the children did.
So I think we need to start thinking about what we're going to do next.
Yes. and let Professor Layman go on with his day.
Yes.
Is there any particular structure to the rifle festival contest? Are there sort of ritual elements? Is, someone crowned a king or a queen or?
Well, yeah, they have this free shooting, and the winner is crowned the king, and they have this big old chain of office he's awarded with.
Chain of office, is it silver?
No, it's actually it's a pretty ugly thing made from kind of gold coins.
There they are. I remember Locke, was it done? You mentioned that like there was a record of those. It was like those from the land of Ib, coins of Bokrug, marked upon a king from another land to mark a festival or something.
Can anyone join this contest, this rifle contest?
I think only the members of the club.
Oh, well, that's convenient. Only the members get to win the prize.
Well, again, it's expensive to be the king, we're told. Although we're also told that whoever has those coins is very fortunate.
What if the coins are the key? What if the silver key is just a made up name?
It's more
And
just,
it's
I
actually
guess, a
coins.
term for a kind of object.
So,
Dr. Layman, Professor Layman, sorry, thank you for your time.
yes.
If you
Must
have any
be-
ideas, we're staying at the hotel and by the train station.
Yes, then if I have any other ideas, I'll contact you. But please be careful. And he basically shoves you out of the door.
All right, gentlemen.
We did rouse him in a startling fashion.
What time of day is it then?
Like
Late
early
morning?
Well, he went first thing in the morning.
Yeah,
So
before he
it's,
got up.
Early, late.
So
would be
we're
like
curious.
10, 11 o'clock.
So we're curious at this point about the rifle club.
Actually, there's a few things we can do. One is, how do we orchestrate breaking into the records? Because I don't think talking to the mayor is a good idea.
What are you hoping to find out from the records?
Oh, I guess I guess their entire history of their secret council, and maybe because not even their own historical society is allowed inside, so it probably has something to do with the Dreamlands.
Well,
That's an assumption, it might just be they are private records. They don't want to share them.
he's
Well,
an ambitious
no.
young detective, Detective Henning.
Well, I'm just saying, what information are you going to get from the records that's going to help you find Professor and return him to his?
Well, might provide
Wife.
some answers. I would like to speak with the mayor in person.
I still think we have to find. There was that poem that I think we tried to skewer every part of Grimm's Tale the Grimm Tales to see if there was something there, considering that whole thing involving the weird odd end of Hansel and Gretel. But we should, I guess, try to talk to Mina and the cat lady and see what we can hear,
On a group
and
of,
then I guess scour the books for anything involved. Probably not, but and then some of the records. And I just think going to the mayor and the relatives might be playing with fire when we know that there's now people that are listening for things that are worrisome in their perspective.
well, I kind of like cats. I can go talk to the cat lady. He didn't say where she was, but she said edge of town. I can certainly ask people where's Anagrupa, and
Yeah, a town
in the
this size, as
direction.
you go east toward the forest, there aren't going to be a lot of roads to choose from.
right.
I think
And
it'll
then
become
Mina,
clear.
you guys can. Some of you can handle Mina, and
Yeah, and if we talk to the two old women, it shouldn't be, I mean, old women can be loquacious, but probably won't take very long. And then we'll have lunch in town and reconsider if we've picked
We're
anything
gonna
up.
handle the mayor.
If we're gonna go by the Brothers Grimm, don't pick any of Mina's vegetables growing in her garden.
Oh, yeah.
You know, or take any of her fruit or candy.
Put a curse on you.
Daniel, can I come with you?
Sure. I
Who's
think it's better if we don't all maybe we're all together and we go to the woods because we might see if we can find something.
And a Gruba.
I'll
Still like the
go.
name.
I'll go to see the witch at the edge of the woods too. So it's
Okay.
up to you,
Sounds
Have
nice.
Prince, whether you want to visit Mina or Anagruba or strike out on your own.
After all, you're the hero in this story,
Yes, I am.
Mr.
So,
Prince.
I
Or
would
you
s-
could, yeah, you could take the bus to the little town and see if you could sneak it and kiss the princess. But
We need to
that-
go get her from that tower first.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a pass on that. I'd like to speak to the mayor, if I could.
Okay, you want to go to the town hall? Daniel and Walter, where are you going?
We're gonna go find Mina at, like near the communal garden.
Okay. So let's start with you. You know where the her shack is,
Yeah.
so it's not very hard for you to find it again. As I described before, it's pretty run down. The garden.
Let's grab some pastries and tea on the way.
Oh yeah. Let's
So-
let's get some like let's give her some. Let's give her a nice meal.
The yard is really sticks out like a sore in between all those very well kept plots. You enter the garden and walk up to the hut, and I guess you're knocking, or
Yeah, I'm knocking.
but no one answers.
Are there any windows?
Yeah, there are small windows.
I'm gonna peek through.
Inside you see like small room. There's lots of herbs hanging from the rafters, thinly drying. There's a stove. No, looks like an old wood stove in one corner. Doesn't seem to be lit. And you see on tables there are a whole bunch of mushrooms and stuff lying there.
Ah, mushrooms. They can have hallucinogenic effects. I wonder if that's how they're getting into the dreamlands.
Maybe she's collecting wood right now.
Daniel, is the door open?
Keep her eye check.
If you want to.
I mean, as in like I just check if it's locked or not. Is it
No, it's not. It's locked.
okay? Well, I can open if you want me to.
In broad daylight when somebody could just be walking by. Now I think we want to keep her on our side. Are there any other windows that might see into other rooms just in case she's
No, it's really just a small one-room shack.
and it's kind of chilly, right? It'd be surprising that she doesn't have a fire lit.
Well, actually not. It's we're
Okay.
in May, so it's nice weather.
Okay.
Right this time of season. Are any of the,
As you're standing in front of the door, a man walks up. He's wearing suit pants, but his shirt sleeves are rolled up, like he's been doing some work. He's a balding man, middle-aged. Excuse me, how can I help you?
Oh, hi. We
He's
wanted to
looking
just-
pretty critical at you.
Oh, we just wanted to talk to the lady who lived here. Just she's not here.
Well, yeah, seems like. And who might you be?
Oh, terribly sorry. We haven't introduced myself. I'm Walter von Arenberg. This is my friend, Daniel Lieberman. And we've been visiting the village for a few days, trying to find a missing friend. And we've also been asked to help with the young woman who's in a coma. Some of the people suggested we talk to Mina to find out if she's seen anything, because she does wander the town. And who are you?
What might she have seen? My name, by the way, is Carl Friedrich Bieler. I'm the chairman of the gardening club.
I put my hands out to shake.
Yeah, he takes your hand.
Well met. And you're the chairman. This is a beautiful garden.
Well, our members generally keep their gardens in pretty good shape. He looks.
Can you show us yours? Obviously, you're here working today. A man of
Well,
your
mine is
character.
further down. My plot is further down the way. I don't have to look at Mina's plot, fortunately. Haven't been able to kick her out for years.
Oh, has she been a challenge for the community?
Well, I don't think she should be allowed to live permanently on the grounds, but people have a soft spot for in their hearts for her. So, well, one day I'll get rid of her.
What are you growing? What are you hoping to have a good crop of this year, sir?
Well, he goes into this really tips him off, and he goes into what kind of flowers and what kind of vegetables he's doing.
Try to act knowledgeable.
Oh.
I mean, I had a garden.
And especially I'm using much of the vegetation for my other passion. I'm also with the rabbit club, so with the rabbit breeders society.
Oh, so you raise your own rabbits?
Yeah.
Are you also a member of the Rifle Club? I understand there's an event coming up.
Well, yeah, I'm a member.
But the rabbits are your passion.
Yeah, they are.
I actually been curious, since there's been a whole thing about the Rifle Club coming up in the festival. How many are what's it take to be in the member anyway?
Well, you have to apply for membership and be a member of the community of Seehusen, obviously. But anyone who lives here can join. But you have to basically all it takes to be a citizen of the city, and pay your fees and do your part of the work chores.
The festival's coming up. What's that been like anyway? Like just putting stuff up, putting targets up?
Well, we have to prepare for the whole city, and there's the fair coming up, so the fair people should be arriving in a couple of days. Most of the work putting up the decoration that's done by young people.
Okay.
So, but I'll have to be on my way.
You don't know where we might be able to find Mina this time of day, would you?
She must be around somewhere in town or in the woods. I really don't know. Maybe
she wanders the woods. She wanders the woods?
Yeah, she does. I think so. Well,
Well,
less
it was
she's
very
here,
nice meeting
the
you,
happier
sir.
I am.
Good luck with your rabbits.
Thank you. Good day to you. He
Good day.
turns around, but he keeps on looking back, like he's checking if you're walking into the garden lot again.
Oh, sir, I forgot. We brought some pastries to share with Mina. Would you like one?
Oh, sure.
Grand. Well met.
So let's switch for. Are you planning to go in again, or what are you doing next?
Honestly, if she's not around, we might as well, I guess.
Wander around town.
Yeah, wander around, check no paths. I guess
Okay.
I tell we could look around the shack and see if there's any trails, because it's probably not a season where there's any mud or like anything obvious.
No.
So we'll just have to put some luck into it.
Okay,
And also maybe, ask occasional people
Yeah.
if they've seen her.
okay, so you wander around town a bit. Let's go to Joseph then. You go to the town hall, and there's one entrance for the police office and another bigger entrance which leads to the hallway of the city hall and the mayor's office, and it's off to there's a door off to the side where an admission clerk is situated behind. So you enter, and an elderly gentleman sits behind the desk and looks up from some paperwork. Good morning, sir. How can I help you?
Oh, yes. Good morning, my good man. My name is Joseph Prinz. I'm an attorney from Berlin, and I'm representing a certain client who I'm told is originally from this area. And I'm trying to get a better sense of her state of mind, and I was hoping I could gain access to your historical records of the town in order to get a better sense of her background and where she came from. She's in a spot of trouble, so to speak. I can't divulge too many details.
Well, he rummaged around under his desk, and he pulls out a piece of paper. If you want admission to the town record, then you'll have to fill in this form and state you're staying here in town, or
Yes, sir. Yes.
so just state where you're staying, so we can go back once the mayor decided about the admission.
Of course. I'm staying at the Motel Saks down the road. So I will fill out the form.
Mhm. Well, basically, it's the form itself isn't of anything special. You have to fill in name, address, and occupation, but you have to fill in the reason why you want to access the town records.
I will write down just as I explained.
Okay. Mhm. So historical background for a client.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay.
It's an airtight story.
Well, till what? How long are you gonna be in town?
Oh, I believe I'll be here
pretty.
for at least a few more days.
Oh,
So hoping
good.
I could get access fairly quickly. I do have clients to get back to.
Well, the mayor is pretty busy right now because of the upcoming festival, but I'll see what I can do.
So has my character accessed records like this before, and do I find it? And if so, is it like unusual for the mayor?
The mayor of a town being the one who bothered with asking for permission to access records. Yeah, that is totally unusual.
My good man, I've gone through this practice a number of times for clients, and usually I'm given access without a delay. And I don't think I've ever had a case where the mayor had to to sign off on the request. Why is this mayor so peculiar about
Well,
who has access to these records?
well, that is how the mayor is handling things.
And what's the mayor's name?
Greaser.
Greaser, Mayor Greaser. Yes. Okay. Well, hopefully I can gain access fairly quickly. If not, I might want to speak to this mayor myself. This is very, very highly unusual. This is a woman's freedom.
Well,
is at
maybe
stake here.
in Berlin things are done differently, but that's the way we do it here.
Nope.
So good day to you.
Berlin sets that's the standard for. All right. All right. Good day. Good day, my good sir. And I'll put my hat on and walk out the door.
Move out. Okay, so let's switch over to Hans and Carl, I think. You ask around, and the cat lady is a known person within town. And so you don't have much trouble finding her house.
We were going to look for a shop as we left the village center and pick up perhaps some cream, maybe a little canned herring as offerings, essentially.
Mhm. Okay, no problem. The house stands a little bit in a overgrown yard. It is not in very good repair, so one-story house. Might be a couple of rooms in there, but it's definitely not big.
Any immediate neighbors, or is it?
No, it's a little drawn back.
And she's a cat lady. So are there cats here and there throughout the yard sunning themselves?
No, there are no cats in the yard.
It's odd. I wonder if this is the right spot. You said this was on Agrippa's house.
It's almost the middle of the day. Maybe they all sleep in the forest in the middle, and then
Maybe.
come out at night to hunt.
As you walk up to the door, there's a nameplate next to the door, and it says Anagruba.
This is the
Yeah,
place.
this is
I'll
the
knock on
place.
door.
No cats, you say?
Well, one has just appeared. No cats on the vicinity. And you knock on the door. You don't hear anyone. Do a spot hidden roll.
First dice of the game.
Missed it by 2. I'll spend 2 luck to make it a regular.
As you knock, you notice that there are a couple of nails poking out from inside through the door. So it's just the tips of the nails.
Hans, I think the door has been nailed shut from the inside.
That doesn't seem natural or safe.
I mean, she's a crazy cat person. Maybe she's locked herself inside.
Well,
Anagruba, I yell out. We're friends. We've come to see
No
you.
answer.
No answer.
I'll go around the left, you go around the right, and we'll
Go
see if
around the right.
we can see anything in the windows.
Right.
You look through the windows, and there are cats inside, but they're lying on everywhere on the floor and don't seem to be moving.
I'll knock on the window. Anything from them?
No reaction. And as you said, you're walking
They're going on either
around both
side.
sides. What you see, Hans, is you come around to what seems to be the kitchen window, and you look down over the stove. It looks like there's a gas stove in there, and it looks like maybe she's kneeling. There's somebody kneeling down in front of the stove.
Oh no, with her head in the
Well,
oven?
you basically only see the feet or lying down.
Yeah. I wonder.
Did she commit suicide?
Carl, we might be too late. Watch out for gas.
All right, I'll come
I-
back. I'll come around.
I'm going to see if I can do anything from the outside to pry the window open and let gas out.
So you're looking for what are you using to pry it open?
I mean, given that she lives in a simple home, it might be as simple as pushing the lower pane up from outside. If not, I'll look for a piece of wood to pry the bottom up.
Yeah, okay. You're able to do that, and immediately as you open the window, it just stinks of gas, and well, it's hard to say that it stinks rotten in there.
Yeah, we're too late. Carl, I'll stay here. You should go to the nearest house and have them call for the authorities.
Well, let's break down the back door and at least turn the gas off. Let it dissipate.
So you want to look around before anybody comes?
No, I just want to get the gas out of the house. It's going to take it a while to
Yeah, we need at least
Get
two
out.
windows so that it can breathe.
just break the window.
Just don't cause a spark.
The glass isn't going to
and blow yourself up.
So
Well, if you break down the back door and there's a metal latch and it sparks and it's full of 3 days worth of gas, then you will blow us both to kingdom come.
all right, well, just break some windows in the house. I'll break the
Well,
windows.
I'll try to force some others the way I forced the first one.
I will. I'll run to town. Run back into town. Find if there's a gendarme or policeman.
Okay.
Or if you pass a post office or something, anybody.
Anybody? Yeah.
Well, you can run to one of the next house and ask if they have a telephone.
Okay. We have 911. Well, okay. I'll just run. Yeah, I'll run. I'll run to the nearest place where I can get help.
Yeah. So you have them. You have neighbors alert the police
Or the fire brigade or whatever. So whoever can deal with this. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I come back to Hans.
Yeah. You forced open a couple of more windows. Do you want to go inside or?
Well, if we can get in past the gas, I mean, I can quickly, if we've opened up the back door somehow, I can run in quickly, turn off the gas and get out. Because obviously the gas is still going.
And nobody turned it off, I assume.
Right.
Now, do we think? Yeah, so we'll have it. I'm sure it's going to be a few minutes before whoever in this sleepy village is going to comes, so we can have a.
Yeah, you
look
can
around.
force the door open.
Don't try not to step on any of the cats.
Yeah, they're all dead.
How bad is the smell? Has it been a day or 3?
The smell is pretty bad. As
Can I
you
tell?
so you run in, what you see is for once the body of well, most likely an old lady lying in front of
Right.
the stove with her head in the stove. But there's a big sink next to it, and you have this awful smell of gas, and you think it's the excrements of the cats who haven't been able to get out before they
Right.
were killed by the gas as well. But in the sink, there's some, well, looks like rotting slaughter wastes, like bones and.
Does it look like chicken or
No, it looks bigger.
beef?
As you turn out the gas, you look over, and it looks like they are human bones.
What on earth? What part, once I know they're human bones, what kind of human bones? Rib cage,
So
arms, legs?
So you check.
Yeah.
I think you have the police advantage, so you don't take sanity loss from corpses or anything.
Right.
It looks like there are remains of two children.
Children, shit.
Yeah, we have found Hansel and Gretel.
Oh my God.
I'll be rolling for sanity. Oh, 13. I knew they were
I'm
dead.
gonna roll for sanity too, because once I
Yeah.
realize it's the
Okay.
children. Oh, when I got 95, that's terrible. Okay.
So
We just found the old witch that eats children.
Carl, you missed the sanity roll.
I did badly.
Okay, so you take 1d4, and Hans, you succeeded.
I
So
did.
just take 1.
I take 3 points of damage.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
All right.
So now
and
we're outside waiting for somebody to get here.
Yeah, I want to get out of the house. Before I leave, I want to see if she has if there are any books that are obvious.
Um,
I'm
There
not
are a
turning the
couple-
place over. I'm just
well,
gonna
there are a couple
of
of books on the shelf. Most likely there's a fairy tale book, of the Brothers Grimm's, which is most likely what you're looking for. But there are no witchcraft books or occult books if you're looking for that.
Right.
Is there a
Bible.
letter of that suicide note?
Yes, you see a piece of paper on the kitchen table.
Help, O merciful Lord, help and forgive me. That's strange, very strange. I wouldn't have expected that at all.
It's as if she were compelled by something to commit this awful crime.
But
And then-
what is she asking help for? Is it help because of the children, or is it help because of the suicide?
I think it's the help. The prayer is in sorrow for the children, and the suicide is the last step.
So, and as you're talking, a black car drives up, and
police
policeman steps out of the car.
Officer, we came this morning to visit Anna Gruber to ask her some questions. We found her place boarded up from the inside. The gas was on, and she and the cats are all dead. But we also found the remains of the 2 children in her kitchen.
You what? Okay. The man seems a little bit
I think yeah, you need to
shaken.
call the
And,
rest of the police. Yeah.
tell me again, what you found?
Go see for yourself.
The Fuhrmacher children.
I'm afraid
It's hard
so.
unfortunately, it's rather hard to tell. But they're children, the remains of children.
You wait outside. I have to see that for myself.
You better call
And
someone.
he's like a rather heavy set elderly policeman. Wait, I'm not talking about police. He walks in, and after a second, you hear, "Oh my goodness!" And he comes running out, and just as he comes out of the door, he turns to the side and vomits into the side of the house. And oh my God, I've never seen something like that. What? And you found them here?
Yep, just like you see them.
Oh my God. How, and who are you?
We're visiting from Berlin. We're on a completely different case. I'm a detective. We're looking for a professor that's missing, and we
Wait.
wanted to question-
You're the detective from Berlin.
That is correct.
The same,
okay.
We're looking for the same professor that you are.
But and how did you get to what does the missing professor this man have to do with the children? And
Nothing
We
so
weren't
far
looking
as
for
we
the
know.
children.
We came to speak to Anna because she sees things and hears things, and we wanted to ask her some questions. That's all. And then found her dead. And we broke the windows to let out the gas. We would have run inside to try and rescue her in case she wasn't dead yet, but she's been dead for quite a while.
so as you're talking, you hear the siren of a fire engine, and it draws up in front of the house. It's a quite modern fire engine, and a couple of firemen in their uniforms step down from the engine, and from the driver from the front of the engine, a figure steps down. He looks more like a Prussian officer, and he walks up towards the policeman. Constable Schultz, what do we have here? And he tells him that, oh God, these men, they found the Anna dead in her house, and there seems to be gas in the house. So the policeman, the fireman goes to his men, and they quickly go into the house. They open up everything. Well, you're pretty lucky you didn't blow yourself up when you went into that house.
Well, we're not fools.
It
We
was
could see
clear
through the
that,
window that she had gassed herself.
yeah. So we tried to let as much gas out as possible safely before turning it off. Excuse me, I'll introduce myself. I'm Hans-Peter Loch from Berlin. This
I'm
is
Karl
Detective Karl Henning.
Well, good thing you were careful. So
Oh,
we'll
there's
take
also
care.
this, and I show him the note.
Well, if she really did what it looks like in there, then oh my God, I don't think that she can be helped.
Would be a very merciful God indeed. I'm sorry. How should I address you, sir?
The policeman or the
The fire marshal.
I'm the Commander Roper of the of Seehofen Fire Brigade.
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
I mean, this is your town. You people know this woman. Why would she do anything like this?
I have absolutely no idea. Why would anyone do something like this? I mean,
What if somebody else did it and she stumbled in on it and they made it look like a suicide?
well, but who would do something like that?
I don't
This
know,
is
there's some
disgusting.
very strange things going on in this town.
What do you mean strange things? This is nothing usual happen.
Officer, since we have arrived in this area, there has been a kind of conspiracy of people trying to make us believe that fairy tales are coming true. And now we have Hansel and Gretel having been eaten by an old woman who gets stuffed into an oven. It's
But
the same
she
story.
obviously committed suicide after what she did.
Officer, I'm a detective, so I don't always see things exactly the same way. That seems, when things seem really obvious, then they're obviously trying to look obvious.
Did the Schulmacher family have other children?
No, that's
I'm not sure how you're going to identify that those are the children.
well.
She was a cat lady. She loved
Well,
her
yeah,
cats.
she was known as the cat lady. She kept all those cats. You see them dead in the house.
Yes, but if she loved her cats, wouldn't she let them out before she committed suicide?
Well, I think she didn't because she had fed the children to them. And so they were part of her crime as she saw it.
So while you're discussing this, takes quite some time. The officer gets another colleague in, and they take your name and where you're staying, and ask you to keep in town.
Yeah,
of course.
Daniel and Walter, you've been walking around town, and at some point, let's say you met up with Joseph. You haven't found Mina, but you've sat down in a cafe, and there seems to be some commotion. People on the next next table are talking to each other. Did you hear what happened at the Roper farm? That some animal killed all his goats. Yeah, must have been 6 or 7 young goats that a wolf killed.
They said Roper Farm?
Roper, yeah.
And does that name ring a bell to us?
No.
Oh, okay.
Daniel, do you think that might be the monster? Starting with goats?
We haven't had wolves here in ages.
Didn't one of those fairy tales talk about these monsters coming out of the
Oh, yes.
sinkholes or whatnot?
Mm-hmm. I just want to find out who Ropa is, because that means depending on what kind of farm it was, it might confirm the pattern. But we gotta go find our Rapunzel witch somewhere, and she's not around.
And if there's a sinkhole near the farm, perhaps.
It would show up around now, or maybe during the festival. I don't know. Never really exact time and date. They just say around this year.
So he said that several of his goats were killed, and
They're
suspect it was a
discussing
wolf.
that on the next table.
Okay.
I'm gonna lean over and say that's fascinating.
Fascinating? You find it fascinating that a wolf kills livestock?
No. It's just so many strange things have been happening, and yet another unusual thing. I'm from the city. I don't know the countryside, so I didn't realize how rare this would be. I thought there were wolves around every tree.
No.
Where does
I can't remember hearing that of a wolf attacking any livestock for ages.
Oh, I'll feel much safer walking through the woods now. Thank you.
Uh,
Uh,
Pardon
ahead.
me, but is Rupa someone major in this town? I'm visiting.
No, he's just a goat farmer.
Well, I think your friend might be in need of legal counsel. My name is Joseph Prince. I'm an attorney from Berlin. Perhaps I should go have a talk with this victim of, I suspect someone let their wild dogs out. Could you tell me where he lives?
Yeah, he tells you where you can find his farm.
Is it north of town?
Yeah, it's a short walk out of town, but it's possible to get there.
I'll make sure he has the best legal counsel possible. All right, and then we'll pay the bill and head out.
Okay, you all head out?
I would say like I partially walked with him, and it's like I was to say we should probably just one of us wait to see if how for Henning and Locke.
I mean, did we arrange to meet them at a later time?
Yeah, we had to meet him for lunch.
Is it
Around-
lunchtime? Is it lunchtime now?
Yeah, it's
Late morning?
around lunchtime.
It's
So
evening
you
now.
want to reconvene at first?
Sure.
So after you, the two of you gave your credentials and everything to the police, they let you off, and you meet all of you meet up again.
Two of us paler and more shaky than earlier in the day.
Yeah,
You're
they
not
don't
going
look
to
very
believe
good.
what day we had.
Ours
You
has
do
been
look
somewhat-
shaken up. What happened?
We solved one crime
Oh,
on a group has been eating children or feeding them to her cats. We
Yeah,
found
horrifying.
Hansel and Gretel,
to clarify, she's the lady who lives at who's like lives at the edge of the woods, right?
the cat
yeah.
lady.
In the east,
Right.
the cat lady.
She's dead. She committed suicide. Killed a bunch of her
Apparently.
cats with her.
Was she burned to death?
No, she
No,
just gassed.
she was in
herself
the
to death.
oven.
Oh,
So yeah, we have perhaps that's the 58th year.
we also just. So unfortunate. I also just heard about a goat farmer just had 7 of his goats eaten mauled by a wolf of sorts.
Did anybody see a wolf?
No, but I
That's,
assume it looks like an animal.
speculation from the locals.
Maybe
We,
that's where the
we have their address. We thought we'd go up there and see for
See,
ourselves.
maybe there's a sinkhole nearby.
Yes.
What if Dobin Kazish, what if you're not that far off? What if we've all been having very strange dreams and you've recognized a 58-year pattern, was it?
Yeah, it's also other sources mentioned it, I think. I just don't
What
have
if the
papers.
58-year pattern is this, like you say, this encroachment on us of this dream world, and it's causing the people in the town and nearby to reenact things from the stories of the Brothers Grimm. The Brothers Grimm just stumbled on it, and I mean, it seemed like the old lady regretted what happened, but she wasn't able to resist the doing
Feels
of it.
similar to the record of those 7 stout men that burned down all of those women's houses and then were forced to dance to death.
And we have a Sleeping Beauty.
We have
Also-
so much.
It seems as though there are this year more of these recurrences than we have read about historically, as if perhaps it is approaching some.
Culminating something. Didn't some of like the 7 sons say something about it culminating? Also, I can't remember where I heard it, but it was like something about the place we're dreaming of has some problem where things that are supposed to decay for nightmares and fade away from nothingness.
Oh, well,
Aren't
then
going
last
away.
night in sleep, the 7 sons who made us our 7 league boots said that the jester was supposed to put away the dark dreams that should have ended or never been.
And something stopping him.
I
Maybe
also think
that's what
that
they do in Czar.
the 7 dwarves who set fire to the homes, that said, the record said that they didn't know each other beforehand. They were unrelated.
Yeah, they didn't know what they were doing either.
As if they were also under a compulsion.
There's definitely something worming its way into our minds.
I think a sinkhole
And
has appeared somewhere in this town
It's
again.
going to be worming its way into other people's minds too. How did you do with Mina?
We still haven't found her. She's just
Oh,
been gone.
She's another candidate to be a witch in a fairy tale. What other
Given
fairy tales
candy
are
to
there?
children.
Rapunzel? He has a garden.
Well, that's what
outside
I
her
was
home.
joking about with the garden. Giving candy to children. But
We
that's
did
the witch that
see-
eats.
But she's already gone. That
We
one's
did see
gone.
mushrooms on our table that might explain how people are getting to the dreamlands. Though. Drugs. Hallucinogenic mushrooms.
Well, I don't know if that's an official way to do it, but a lot of people have weird, trippy dreams.
I think also, Prince, you said you put out you filled out the form to get into the records, and you're probably not getting a response.
Yes, apparently the mayor has to personally approve my request, which is highly unusual. Usually,
That's what I thought. Yeah.
I'm able to gain access to town records without much resistance. So I suspect the mayor is hiding something. Sounds like maybe there's some cult, secret club of some sort, association.
I say then we figure out how we handle that, but I think we should check out that farm and see if maybe we can find a devil's hole or something nearby.
Goat farm?
The goat farm?
Yeah, it's only like a few minutes away from here, from the north.
I wish I knew my Grimm's fairy tales. We'd almost be able to watch out for what.
I mean, we
might
have
be
the
next.
books. Let me just skim through these.
Isn't there the brothers?
Well,
you
you skimmed
Billy
through
Goat
the
Griff?
books.
Yeah, see, they're even close enough to like vaguely.
Well, there's the story of the 7 young goats,
Oh,
which 6 are killed and eaten by the wolf, and the 7th escapes by hiding in a grandfather clock.
Maybe we need to head out there and see if we can find the 7th goat.
How?
Yeah.
Clock.
How? Except in fairy tales, can 7 goats fit into a grandfather clock?
there's only one.
No, the 7th, the
The seventh
seventh.
one.
the 7 goats are left at home by her mother, and the wolf comes and tricks them to get into the house, and
Well-
he eats 6 of them, and the 7th one hides in the grandfather clock, and so
Worry about
the 7th
trusting
one
strangers.
survives.
No, this could be a good test of our theory. Let's get up
Yeah.
there quickly.
Is there anything about mushrooms in there, Daniel?
I'd have to skim this entire. I'd have to
One
actually
will
read
make
these
you
things thoroughly.
larger, one will make you shorter. That's Carol.
That's Carol though.
Well, this whole thing starts to feel like wacky Wonderland.
So you walk up to the farm. You find the address you've been given. By now, you have a pretty good idea of the layout of this town. You've done quite some walking around, and you find the farmer, 30-ish man. He's mucking out a stable. There are quite some goats running around on the plot.
Love
He
goats.
looks at you as you enter his farm.
I
Would you
think
like
this
to
is
go
on
ahead?
you, Valder. I don't know how we ask this farmer if he's got a grandfather clock without appearing to be insane.
I think Herr
Can I help
Prinz
you?
has a great opening.
He looks kind of questioning at you.
I'll wave in a friendly manner. My good sir, we heard in town that you had a bit of a misfortune. Several of your goats were killed.
bit of misfortune. You can say that. Some beast killed 6 of my 7 young goats. The whole stock of this year.
Do you still have the carcasses?
Oh yeah, there was just yesterday. They're around the back. Why? What do you
Oh,
want? with that?
forgive me. My name is Joseph Prince. I'm an attorney, a lawyer from Berlin. Thought you might need legal representation.
Gonna sue the wolf.
Friends.
Perhaps you have a
Who can I
neighbor that
sue?
let their dogs out and they came in and attacked your goats.
Were
You
the
think
goats
that might be possible?
I've seen it before. It's known. It happens from time to time.
Were the
Irresponsible
goats
dog
eaten?
owners.
He looks quite doubting at you. Do a persuade roll. Well, you gotta have a nice story. You get a bonus die.
Success.
Well, if you think so, you want to take a look at them or what?
Yeah. So my friend here just happens to be a veterinarian. Help. Perhaps he can provide some insight as well.
Whom did you point at? Who's the veterinarian?
Which one looks like a veterinarian?
It probably makes sense to point at Walter.
Veterinarian's gonna go up and go, "Yep, those are dead."
Yeah. Yes, I am a
Oh,
veterinarian.
Good point.
From my family home in Danzig, I was a property owner there and learned quite a bit about animal care. And we, as you know, we have a great many wolves there. So, I can help you identify and see if this is actually a wolf or not.
Okay, so
Did you see any
He leads you
footprints
around.
or
Hmm?
anything?
Is somebody banging on something?
oh, I
Tapping
didn't
on
see
something?
any tracks. You're certainly welcome to take a look.
Let me look at the animals, the dead animals first. And
Yeah,
then,
sure. So
and you said it was 6 of the 7. Was the 7th in another corral?
No, it looked like the water trough was knocked over and it was hidden under it.
I see.
The 7th goat
But
was
it survived?
hidden under the water trough and it survived.
Yeah.
Huh.
So he leads you around the stable, and on the back there are the 6 carcasses of small goats, which are pretty bloody and mangled. And you take a look at them. Do you have any skill that could actually help you?
None at all.
Do
Natural
a
world at 10%, maybe?
do a spot hidden.
About natural world, or
I failed on spot hidden.
Okay. Well,
But yeah, I
they're
do
bloody.
have the
They're
natural
bloodied and-
10% natural world.
I mean, you look at the goats, you can see they've been torn open by.
Yeah.
So is it consistent with some sort of large, like a wolf type thing, like sharp claws and
Well,
I'm definitely doing my
actually-
best impression of a vet. by the way.
Actually-
I'm down there.
Actually, they
Sleeves rolled
don't.
up.
The wounds don't really look ripped. You're not no expert with this, but you would imagine that as you said, the bellies would be ripped open and that the flesh has been ripped, and those goats don't really look like that.
The wolf
Where-
would have
where
run
are
off
they?
with the
have
food.
wounds, but
Is it more like they got clawed, like clawed open?
no, it's more like they're sharp cuts, like they've been
Sliced with a knife.
killed with a knife or something.
More like a ritual slaughter, perhaps.
Why, sir? Why did you think this was caused by wolves?
Well, I heard the wolf growling, and I saw it run away.
What did it look like?
What do you mean? What did it look like? Like
Well,
a
I
wolf?
mean, how big? Dark? Was it
Well,
gray?
it was dark.
black?
It was a wolf, like wolf sized.
And where did you see it?
When it came out of the canal.
Daniel, can you go over and see if you see any footprints?
I'll go look.
Do you have any rivals or enemies or people you have a beef with in town? Somebody who'd want to
No.
hurt you?
Why would I? For
Well-
heaven's sake, I raise goats.
This looks to me like these animals were killed with a knife, not a wolf. Wolf would have taken something with him to eat. There's nothing here that's
Or
been
eat
taken
more
to
of the
eat.
body?
Well, wolves are social. They would take these back to their babies and feed them to their babies. They wouldn't leave them here.
Right, but I've seen them. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Just the one time,
direction did it
or
go?
have you seen it before?
No. Well, I've never seen a wolf around here before.
Did you fire a shot, Herr Ripper? Is that what frightened it away?
I was getting my rifle, but it was already away when I got back.
Which way did it run?
Well, points
Into the
Into the
woods.
forest?
into the points towards the fields.
Do you, does your neighbor's fields or your own?
My neighbors.
But they didn't see anything.
No.
Well, perhaps the problem will get worse. Maybe you need to get some of your neighbors and go on a wolf hunt. Make sure it doesn't come back for your other animals.
You know, I was thinking about something like that.
I have a friend in town. He breeds rabbits. He would probably be very afraid and be willing to help. The chairman of the garden committee.
Well, maybe we should do something like that. Yeah, you're right.
Daniel, do you see anything?
Oh yeah, Keeper. Should I? I think I should.
Yeah, do
roll
a
to
spot in.
All right. I'm going to spend. And I have to spend a point of luck for that, but that's success.
Yeah, you don't find any tracks that could be a wolf or dog or anything. You look around, the ground is quite muddy in parts, and you don't see
Any like anything like a fast moving creature would leave, just like anything.
nothing that would fit. You think would fit to a wolf or a big dog or something like that.
I'm not
Anything
looking for. I'm
besides
looking more for.
footprints?
My theory is I'm looking for a very bestial bipedal creature.
No,
No?
not either.
Daniel, you've become our Brothers Grimm expert.
I just remember what we've come. I'm just remembering the pieces we're coming across.
Any werewolves in Brothers Grimm? I don't think so.
Do you have any idea? I don't think so.
The wolves are wolves.
Yeah, wolves can dress up as old ladies,
That's
but
true.
old
More
ladies don't dress up
intelligent
as
animals.
wolves.
It's more intelligent wolves than
Herr
actually.
Ruppe, were you at home alone when I guess it was the crying out of the goats that you noticed?
Yeah, I live alone.
Yeah. So you heard, what time was it that you heard the goats? I mean, I think they would shriek under such an attack.
Yeah, they did. It was in the middle of the night.
Hmm. I don't remember how the moon was. Was it hard to see?
No, it was a clear night. I know what I saw.
Oh, forgive me, Einhard. We don't doubt you. It's just that it's strange that these bodies are killed the way were, and it's rare that there's a wolf in your village.
Yeah,
Do you think that the
you can-
rifle club could be persuaded to track the beast? They
maybe
did practice before the weekend.
maybe that could be an idea.
Mr. Roper, this might be sound like an odd question. Are there any sinkholes nearby?
Not directly here. No, he tells you about the ones you already know.
And just to be,
Oh, do you think I have any chance of suing somebody?
I wouldn't say this is done by a wolf, and you can put me down as an expert on this.
I'm going to agree with my veterinarian colleague. This doesn't appear to be an animal attack. Perhaps we could, if it was done by a person, we could find this person. You might have a grounds for a lawsuit. I will give you my card. Keep me informed of any updates. I would suggest you file a police report promptly as evidence.
Did you
Yes, yes.
see? Did
What?
you see the wolf's face, or was it running away?
I saw it running away.
You didn't ever see its face.
What's there to see in a wolf's face?
A
You
face.
see its tail?
If you see somebody
Yeah.
with a cloak over them that looks like a wolf skin, you might
Well,
think it
I
was a
think
wolf.
I think I would recognize if somebody is crawling around with a wolf pelt thrown over his back.
Unless they're trying to fool you.
Have you ever
It's very
seen
s-
a wolf before?
No, I've never seen a wolf here, but maybe it was a
So-
big dog, but it wasn't somebody who was crawling on on all fours.
And the creature was on all 4 feet and running quickly
Yes.
in the moonlight over the pasture to the
Yeah.
other direction. Yeah.
How do
so-
you explain the lack of tracks?
But I don't know.
Me either. I am fascinated by this. As someone suggested, some kind of a magical creature.
He starts looking at you quite out.
Well,
And-
it's. I mean, it
and
is.
you're lawyers?
You're near the forest.
Well, gentlemen,
I-
perhaps we should let this poor man bury his, or whatever he does with the.
Yes, you'll have to send them to the knacker since this isn't a natural cause.
Well,
How old were the goats?
there was just born this spring.
So not fat enough to
No.
never mind.
Uh,
It's perplexing.
probably a bit distance away. I feel like we should, or I'll probably wait for everyone to. I think once everyone's walked
Yeah,
away a bit, it's like
let's-
I say we go look in that field a little bit, then let's go back.
Yeah, before we part, I want to impart to him the sad information that the missing children were found. And
Well, you tell him about that. He is shocked.
yeah, it's unbelievable. It's such a tragedy. From what we've been told, the old woman always seemed harmless and likable.
Well, yes, she is known around town.
Well, you should. I think you should speak to the rifle club about having a wolf hunted. Also, I think everyone in the village should be careful. It seems as though evil is running free in this peaceful village.
Fairy tales are.
And as he seems to have no real response. Yeah.
Was that your grandfather's trough?
Well, it's been here. It's old. Yeah, my grandfather might have bought it. I don't know.
Gentlemen,
He doesn't seem.
I say we
he
leave him
seems
be,
less and
and then-
less interested in talking.
Let's
to
leave him
you.
be. Yeah,
let's walk towards the pasture where he said the wolf left. Perhaps we'll see some footprints there.
there is a wolf. I don't want to meet the wolf.
I don't
You
think it's
certainly have your gun, don't you?
Well, yeah, but I don't want to shoot a wolf unless I have to, I guess.
Well, you don't, as you have the check already. You don't find any tracks, nothing that would fit.
We're looking around for, I guess all the previous stories talked about how the sinkholes just kind of appeared violently from the ground and usually are near the other ones, but sometimes aren't. So
I think that we'll hear about it when something like that appears.
true. It probably will happen during the festival, or at least sometimes in the next few days, considering the pattern and it's an actual pattern.
I am completely. I'm also. We're not finding the professor. We're not even
Yeah,
practically looking for him anymore.
There's nothing else to know where he went unless we help Anna Rosa wake up, so we have to go sleeping. We have to go dreaming. I think she'd know, or maybe not, but that's the only thing we have left.
If we run across 3 bears living in the house, we're going to be.
So, Keeper, when did the children disappear?
The
Newspaper
children
thing
is
about that.
Because
actually.
this event happened this previous night.
It was about 3 days ago, wasn't it? 4 days ago.
on Friday. It's Tuesday now.
So this event happened the previous night, and then that killing, we don't know. We don't have an estimated time of death.
It's one. It's
Although I would say that is it probably Friday that the old woman gassed herself? Or no, Friday she took the children.
It was the 17th was the news article, whereas this 3 days
Friday they
after
took
was
the children, but
15th.
we don't know exactly when she killed herself or when the children died.
Right.
We do know that this occurred last night.
And we still haven't found Mina. We should scour the town looking to see if we can find Mina.
Maybe
The guy
she'll.
said she wanders around.
Yeah, maybe we find her. Maybe she might vaguely recall something about the time 58 years ago.
Maybe she's visiting her daughter in the tower, the Rapunzel Tower.
That was to the
Guys,
north.
where do you think this is all going to lead?
Something. I'm
To
not
the-
actually sure, but probably something very odd involving the dreamland spilling over during the festival into our world and something calamitous happening, but maybe not.
Well,
I
if
just
we
think-
can't wake the sleeper, then the festival will go as someone plans. And the new king of the Rifle Club will receive the chain of the
Gold.
golden coins of Bokrug and perhaps the silver key. And perhaps all of the sinkholes will open up and a million of those things that chased us in the dreamlands will emerge.
Who is the current king? Who is crowned last time?
York is president of the Rifle Club, but I don't think he's king.
It was the mayor last time. I don't remember if they said anyone who was.
The
They
mayor
just
is
said
named
how-
Griza.
I don't recall actually who.
I'm
was
just trying to
king.
think if something's happening, if the silver key or this amulet or necklace or whatever causes dreams to come true, what if somebody is reading the Brothers Grimm and that's causing it to bleed into our real world? Because it's uncanny, all of the Brothers Grimm stuff that's going on around us. In fact, it started before we even left Berlin. Goldilocks and the Wicked Stepmother and
Well, it's been going on for centuries.
Also, Professor Erling is a professor of like fairy tales and classical literature, right?
Yeah.
Linguistics with a specialty, yeah.
But maybe it hasn't been. Maybe you say going on for centuries. It hasn't been going on. It goes on only when the 58-year period gets really close.
Yeah.
But that's because somebody's imposing it onto us. Somebody's warping the reality around us.
And again, the mayor seems to be suppressing
And there are
historical records of this town. So he
there are a
probably knows
lot
something.
worse fairy tales. Brothers Grimm were quite grim.
And maybe, and the worst ones have yet to happen, but maybe it's because those take a lot more effort to happen.
Well, then we're not yet at the festival.
Yes, it's
Um,
it likely will get worse as the closer it gets.
Including the Frog King. That's one of the stories, isn't it?
Yes, where the
So-
castle rises from the ground or falls into the marsh.
So, what are your plans?
So is it early afternoon at this point?
Yeah,
Let's walk around, look and see if we can find Mina somewhere.
I think the only thing
yeah.
is Mina left to possibly get into those records somehow and then to dream.
Mr. Prinz is going to sit down with a book on Grimm's fairy tales and read.
Here you
Over
go.
a nice cup
I
of
have-
coffee.
Here's 2 volumes.
Why would the mayor keep anything incriminating in the public records area? Why not just keep them in his safe at home? Or I'm not sure that there's any records that would be worth seeing, but I'm not.
Why
is
would
it
you
about
take
that.
the public records home and put them in your safe if you could just deny people access to them?
Because that's suspicious looking.
Yeah, but he's the mayor of a small town. No one really questions it that hard besides it being giving him some eyeballs.
Except for the eccentric man we met, who's even asking? Except for Herr Schmicke and us, a bunch of out-of-towners that are here. I mean, if he took a bunch, if he went down to the cellar of the city hall and took all the old books and scrolls and carted them off home, that would be suspicious. He can just say no. It's you know.
He'd
Demands
be
that he
risking
has
the
to-
fact that the police could show up at his house and raid his house and take all of those documents back out. And then they
And even drain
Things
his
like that
septic
never
tank.
happen.
Who knows what he's already flushed?
I think we should split up. Whoever wants to find Mina, so we have a better chance of finding her.
Yeah, we'll just sort of spread out around town and move back towards our place.
I'll look around. I'll go near City Hall, and I just need to go get a sense of where they probably put the records. I'm not going to do
Keep a
anything.
look. Keep a lookout too everywhere you go as to fairy tales that are manifesting themselves.
well, as to the city records, it's quite easy. There's a stair leading down from the main hall, and there's a sign next to the door saying records. So
Okay. And this
That
place does
doesn't
close
seem-
after 5, right?
yeah, 5 o'clock.
Okay. Okay. That's what to worry about later.
I think my character will also look over the local newspaper for any stories of interest that fit the pattern that we're seeing.
Well, you check the newspapers, the newspaper archive. They don't have a one running back 60 years, but
So, like recent, the past couple days.
in the recent time, yeah, it's basically what you found by now. The story of the missing children. There's quite some upheaval at the office because they're doing an article on the children and on the found bodies, of course.
Is there a
other-
newspaper in town?
Yeah, there's.
They're going to have a wealth of information. You know, to
We'd
go
read
there.
the morning paper every day, so yeah.
We had a couple of articles, but there's not really anything.
Okay.
You skim through the last couple of weeks of newspapers, but there's no additional things aside from the ones you know already. Nothing strange happened.
Is the collective garden It's not in the center of town. It's off
No,
to
it's on
one
the
side.
edge. It's
Yeah,
on the
I'd like
northern
to.
edge.
I assume that Mina has worn some paths into the woods where she goes to collect dead wood. So I'm going to look for any path that goes from near the collective garden into the nearest forest.
Well, yeah, you can actually find a path that seems to lead into the woods.
I'm going to, before it gets dusky and I'm lost in unfamiliar woods, I'm sure there are lots of footpaths in there. So I'll have a look around.
Anybody accompanying him?
You sure you want to go in the woods by yourself? There may be
I'll
a
go
wolf
with him.
beast.
I'll go look. I'll be
Hans and I
trying
are
in
having
the-
an interesting conversation.
I'll be probably dealing with the city hall portion of the town, and then going around just to see if I can find Mina at all.
I'm searching
so-
for Mina.
I mean, aside from the fact that all these creepy things are happening here, Hans, it's actually quite lovely.
Yeah, I mean, the air is very fresh here compared to Berlin. And
Smells
I feel
fine.
perhaps a little green idyll might take the scent of dead cat and boiled children out of my nose.
Well, and as you walk down, you find a path that might correspond to the way where Mina goes into the woods. And after some time, you hear a shot, like a shotgun,
Somebody's
and
talking.
a second one.
Close or far?
Relatively close.
Is it too echoey to tell from which direction it's coming?
No, it's basically down the path.
I'm looking down at my clothing and thinking,
You're in your usual clothes. You didn't fall asleep. You don't think so?
no, I wasn't worried about guns. I was worried about being.
Getting shot.
I tend to wear dark clothing. It's afternoon in the forest. Hello? Is everyone all right?
And as you're shouting, you hear footsteps coming down the trail from in front of you.
Running, I
Hello?
assume.
Running toward. Looks like running towards you.
I sort of want to
Sounds
stand
like
to the side of the path.
And you see a young man in hunter's garbs with a shotgun in his hand, and he's running towards you. Did you see it? Did you see it?
No,
What-
man.
what
What
is
what
it?
is it?
The wolf! Did you see it? It ran this way.
No, nothing came
No.
this way.
I'm going to pull my gun out.
What do you mean?
I said I didn't
You
want to
must
see
have
the
seen
wolf.
it. I hit it once. It attacked a girl.
God, no. Let's see if we can find a trail of blood if you hit it. Nothing came past us this way.
That is impossible. Come, help me. She's injured.
Of course. It probably left the path. Should one of us run for help?
Yes,
Well-
get a doctor.
I'll run up to help.
You go to help, and I'll go back down to the village and see
Yeah.
if I can
Okay,
find a telephone.
Yeah, I'm quite strong, so.
yeah, you run up and you run over a small hill, and you see that there's a girl lying on the ground.
She's dressed all in red.
Well, she actually has a red scarf around her shoulders.
She can put up over her head like a hood. Is she conscious? Is she bleeding? Is she?
You run up. She seems to be unconscious. A wolf attacked her, and I had to shoot it. you check, you see that she's in pretty bad shape. She has, you see that she basically has taken quite a lot of lead pellets from his shots.
The girl has?
Well, I shot at the wolf, and I must have hit her as well.
Let's get her to town quickly. So I'm going to pick her up and carry her.
Yeah, you pick her up and run down the way.
There's been an accident, is what we'll say.
I tried. I had to. The beast would have killed her.
It's okay. We're going to get her down here to the... Where's the doctor? You know where the doctor is in the town?
In the
Take me
city
there.
center.
Take me there.
And I'll have
So,
found
yeah.
the first house with a telephone, so perhaps the fire brigade will be faster.
It's not that big of a town, but yeah.
Yeah, and you basically you get with the help of the fire brigade, you get the girl to the doctor's office.
Yeah.
So the doctor is a small man, little tummy, and he is quite concerned. She has taken a couple of wounds. She is unconscious.
Do everything you can. It was an accident. I'm going to turn to Hans and say, Hans, didn't the farmer with the goats say something about he thought the wolf was a female?
No.
I don't remember that, but
Okay, I misunderstood
Just-
something there.
And as you're talking, the young man, he's very nervous. You're basically standing outside of the doctor's office, and the policeman from before comes accompanied with a leaner colleague who looks like a little bit slicker. You you again. What?
Constable Schultz, hello.
This young man shot at our wolf.
The goat killer, but unfortunately there was a young woman. Did you know who it is, the young woman?
Her name is you found out about that. Her name is Käthe Kloppermann.
Käthe Kloppermann.
You happen to be you have a knack of being where something happens lately.
We're all over town, and things seem to be happening everywhere.
Yeah, Constable Schultz, to whom I'm Hans Peter Lack. Sir, you are?
I'm Constable Fauberg. And you are, sir? He's looking at you, Henning.
Oh, I'm Carl Henning. I'm a private detective from Berlin. And what's our young man's name? With the gun.
Konrad Kremmel. The two officers take your story and the evidence of the story of the young forester. He seems to be really distressed, and he's always repeat. But I don't understand where that wolf went. You must have seen it.
It must have gone into the forest and not on the path. But
we were
It just
we were
went over
talking,
the
we
hill,
didn't-
and there you were. It's not possible. How can a wolf disappear?
perhaps there's a hidey hole or something. It's den.
well, it's the second wolf attack in 2 days, so there is something strange.
Well,
Young Herr Kreml, were you out in the woods practicing for the for the festival this weekend?
What? No, I'm working in the woods.
You were just hunting
Of
for.
course, that's my job.
Yeah. What do you normally shoot in this forest?
Well, we don't have many wolves around here. I just had my gun with me. I wasn't on the hunt.
I see.
So, gentlemen, if you would please leave the investigations to the professionals. It's the second constable, the one that told his name as Faubourg.
Yeah, of course, Constable Fulber.
I'll
Excuse
show
us.
him my credentials.
And he looked.
We're hunting for a missing professor.
Oh,
All this other stuff is just collateral.
You are the detective from Berlin.
That's me. Yeah, I keep introducing myself that way.
Well,
Nobody seems to remember who I am.
There seems to be a mix-up. Young trainee Dirk thought you were with the police in Berlin.
Oh, I never said that.
He looks quite skeptical at you. He hands you back your ID.
Huh?
So I think we have to ask you not to leave town there until all this mess is cleared up. We can find you at the Golden Lamp, I think. So please let us do our work, even if you're from Berlin. And on this unfriendly police note, I think we'll end it for now today.
Yeah, I need to learn how to say nasty things to somebody in German.
Spit a lot.
Well,
Our players included Brian Ridge, David Gasway, Max Duell, Steve Anderson, and myself with Pascal Breitenfeld as the keeper of the secrets. We have a Discord server where you can chat with our other members. You can set up private games. You can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. If you'd like to help support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 a month helps us a lot. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Tom Riley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.